going to be easy. Maybe SCHWEINEAIM not ready for this match as much. I don't think that's going to be the case. BS+Competition, they pushed Exalti all the way to a map 7 and down to the wire on map 7 as well last week. We're not going to see Gyroscope Twiggy. You got to give up hope completely on that one. We are going to see the classics though, slow down and back and forth already locked in. Maybe freestyle next, maybe Slippy slides after that, maybe reverse.
Oh, okay.
Aero pipes.
Okay. Then, whoa, calm down. Oh my god. Whoa,
hey,
okay.
BS+Competition, they got the practice in last week against Exalti.
Wow, okay, yeah. Well, I mean, they got the practice in. It probably wasn't... They weren't happy with the result, I don't think. But at least they made it close, and I guess they want some revenge on that one. Maybe not against the team that they lost it to. But, wow, that must have left an impression.
Yeah, and the rest of our picks come in thick and fast after that. It's going to be map 4, Parkour, Agility Dash 4, map 5, Slippy Slides on 6, and then Freestyle all the way to map 7. Flip of Faith not showing up at any point this evening, even in our possible late maps. It lost a lot of 50-50s. It is a bit of a coin flip, and it has fallen afoul of that a few times now. But I'm looking forward to seeing it. We are guaranteed Aero pipes as a third map pick. So, you know, BS+Competition, making sure that we are going to get that one. And that's a little bit exciting. I mean, it caused problems at times for some of the teams that got it last week.
Yeah, it's definitely, well, I mean, like, Flip of Faith may be the map that's called Flip of Faith, but Aero Pipes definitely also is a Flip of Faith. As you move towards the end, it's, maybe you're not flipping, but you are definitely taking a jump of faith, at the very least. It's one of those ones that you never know what's going to happen right up until the very end. So, at least we can start off with a map that everybody, you know, loves, everybody enjoys, everybody likes this identity. It's very clean, it's very cool through to the end, and really the only mistakes you're going to make are when you're under immense pressure right at the end of the map. As we've seen so many times, slowdown is in pretty much every series, and we're here once again for the first map.
I think slowdown has to be that map that it's going well for everyone in training, right? Because it's just a fun map. The identity, you know, when you're not under pressure, definitely one of those that you can get through cleanly more often than not. And as a result, that's why we're kind of seeing it. It's in the first round of picks nearly every single time. It has not been outside the first 4 picks a single time tonight. And we will see it to kick off our final match of week 3 of the Trackmania Challenger League. BS+Competition in the blue, SCHWEINEAIM Racing in the red. The other way around from what I thought they were going to be, and so I'm going to have to maybe reevaluate now where I think what these picks were.
Well, Barbos to start things off comes out ahead. Oh, glassed. That's a wall. Unfortunately, going to fall back, and Barbos narrowly was the top performer out of all 4 of these players last week. So we're expecting to see something great out of this man once again. Ratchet as well has fallen 10 seconds down. I'm not sure what fate he met there, but heading up the rear at this point, Barbos is going to have to save him, bail him out.
We'll have to do a little bit of work here on this identity. The first time through we go. Barbos takes a very sharp angle on the exit of that turn, but he gets very quickly through it. I think that's the cleanest that we've seen anyone go through the trees in the Challenger League so far. And Barbos will cross the line for a 57.1 to finish things off. Second place goes to Snowglass. Claros is without any more incidences in third place, and Ratchet will bring up the rear in 4th.
Well, a couple of early map mistakes. No mistakes in the identity there to start things off, but it's a draw. It's a very, you know, it's a chill opener at the very least. Look, here's the thing. We want to make way for the NCSA regionals, but at the same time, hey, 7 maps
deserve
cool
the
well.
drama.
Yeah, you know what?
After waiting for 90 minutes, it would feel bad if we didn't get the full 7 maps. It's another early mistake here on that corner. This time around, it is Ratchet who will make it. The players from BS+Competition will get away a little bit. SCHWEINEAIM Racing, they were the higher seed coming in, sitting at 1-1. BS+Competition, the only team still at 0-2. As such, this is SCHWEINEAIM Racing's pick for map 1. Well, they're tied at the moment, and 1 round gone, they'll be looking to fix that.
Snow out ahead to start things off here, and this time Glass has not made an early error. He is still with the rest of these racers. Ratchet only falling a little bit too far behind to make up a massive amount here as we go into the identity. Glass trying to overtake Barbos, but Barbos has completely undercut Snow and Glass here and may just come away with a victory by 400ths, but he makes it happen and forces another draw. Saves Ratchet in this round.
You know, I think I'm beginning to see why this was SCHWEINEAIM's first pick. Both of those players are going for the tree route through that identity. That is more purple than we've seen it tonight.
Wow,
that's pretty.
That's some, hey, We love to see the purple and blue. It's very nice.
It's true, but let's harp for a second a little bit more on SCHWEINEAIM Racing and their ability in that identity, because they are genuinely looking, I think, faster through that identity than we've seen out of any of the other Trackmania Challenger League teams so far.
Possibly, yeah, it does seem that way. That identity does claim a lot of prisoners when you're under that pressure, and so far SCHWEINEAIM have kept their cool throughout it, and that's really what matters in keeping speed through the slowdown identity, because obviously those couple turns, it's really, really important you get that right angle, and so far they have.
And this time around, both players from SCHWEINEAIM are alive as we reach that identity. And let's look at the gap now. You can see it. They open up space of a couple of car lengths just going through those trees. And it is working out for them. BS+Competition, their only hope is to be, I think, 2-3 tenths ahead of the players of SCHWEINEAIM Racing heading into that identity.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they take any prisoners whatsoever. Right now, the hardest part of the map to them, it seems like, is the first dirt turn, where we've seen a couple of bumps from the SCHWEINEAIM Racing team, but so far, after that point, everything seems very clean from them. BS+Competition looking to take into account your strategy, and Ratchet, I think, touches the wall once again on the dirt turn, and that means Snow and Glass out. 2 tenths ahead of Barbos here, may just be able to put your advice into good use.
Hopefully they will, but I'm still nervous. I think Barbos definitely within range to snipe at least one of them if this is the gap they hold all the way into that identity. It has been 2 or 3 tenths the swing in that identity every time so far, and at the moment Barbos is in that range. Ratchet a little bit further outside it, and Barbos is closing even closer onto Glass. Let's see how it goes. Well, it's going to be a big overtake there from Barbos. God. There comes Ratchet as well. The identity is working for them, but at the moment Snow has managed to hold on. Snow might just hold the lead this time around. Will do so. It's by less than a tenth. The swing is huge over those hills every time.
There you can see that consistency coming into play. Glass, he was out ahead of those 2 SCHWEINEAIM Racing players, and one tiny error. It was barely airtime on that last jump. It was not enough that we would have gone, oh my god, but still puts him in 4th place because SCHWEINEAIM Racing just put together another clean performance. That is really capitalizing off of the tiniest of errors from the opposition.
The identity very, very quick for SCHWEINEAIM so far. Snow with a bit crash. This should be a win round for SCHWEINEAIM now, barring any catastrophes. And then, again, that's just down to how fast they've been through the identity. With that said, their times have not been anything to really write home about. They've been quick, but they have not been kind of, you know, top time in the world according to the online leaderboards quick at the moment. The rest of the map, it's not as clean as maybe they would like it to be. They have been losing occasionally to BS+Competition in that regard. This round, though, I'm looking at an ace for SCHWEINEAIM Racing. I was on for a second there, but Barbos loses his way, goes for a little bit of a fly, should still be able to sneak across the line in 3rd place. Snow coming up behind, but will be a little bit too far behind to make it happen. It is still going to be a win for SCHWEINEAIM.
It was all going a bit too perfectly, I think we can agree. So that's, you know what, that's fair enough. That's fine, no problem whatsoever. SCHWEINEAIM Racing still win the round with a 1-3. Snow made love to a checkpoint earlier on, so absolutely no problem. You can make a small mistake at the end there and still come home to give your team a good amount of points. Now, all they need is a round win, just like before, to get them this map, and it would be in pretty clean fashion.
Would be pretty clean. That's exactly what you want for a map that you picked yourself, and it's rare. I think, you know, there's very few identities that provide this kind of leeway as well if you put the work in. And SCHWEINEAIM, great decision by them to put the work in to make the pick happen as well. I almost think they could have just made the risk and not picked slowdown as well. I think there was a decent chance they could have baited BS+Competition into that pick as well, but hey, they decided to set themselves up for the match. They knew they were quick, they knew they had this identity down, and the strategy for SCHWEINEAIM and pick ban, it's working so far.
Confidence is key, and once again, confidence is what's going to matter as you come forward into this identity. This time, everybody's staying neck and neck with each other. Snow trying to split the difference between Barbos and Ratchet. Barbos pulls out ahead by only just a little bit. 200ths between Snow and Barbos, but Barbos manages to get his team those 2 points, those 2 crucial points for the end of the map, and SCHWEINEAIM Racing take it 10-5.
Snow made them work for it at the end there, but SCHWEINEAIM Racing prove more than equal to the task. They come away with a round win by the smallest of margins, but overall the score on that one, Twiggy, it wasn't that close. 10-5 ultimately in SCHWEINAIM. That is a strong map one.
Yeah, I think that's what we'd call decisive. It's not, you know, one-sided, but it was definitely in SCHWEINEAIM's hands the whole time. As we head now to back and forth, it's going to be important, obviously, for BS+ to be able to bring things back.
Right. The question is, can you in any way be as ready for your first pick as SCHWEINEAIM were on theirs? For BS+Competition, it's going to be a tall ask.
Yeah, back and forth so far for them has not been a good map. They played it twice. They've lost 10-7 twice. So it's going to be important that they break that streak on this map. Manage to bring it to 1-1, but so far SCHWEINEAIM Racing have been more consistent on this map. And to remind ourselves, in the first week against NuaLaoch, they won 10-3. 12-3 even, sorry. They only gave away 3 rounds, but definitely crossed that line with a lot more. And I think they lost it on the second week, but only by a little bit.
I think there was a little bit of a sneaky prediction in there as well from you, Twiggy. SCHWEINEAIM on the first round here is what we're looking for. SCHW, though, does lead the way at the moment. 3 other cars in the conga line behind them, and well, that conga line will break up a little bit as we go through the turnaround. Barboss will catch the front of his car on that wall a little bit, and now Ratchet finds himself in that BS+Competition sandwich, trying to hold on, salvage at least 1 point out of it as we head into this identity. And Ratchet, he gets a pretty clean turnaround.
SCHW stays out ahead. Ratchet with maybe a little more speed, but Glass has more speed than him. May be able to make this an ace. Ratchet with a little bit of a better turn, gives himself a better exit. On that one, catches up to SCHW just a little bit, unless there's a mistake. He gets through there. Oof, Glass bumps the edge, but Barboss is far enough behind that it's not a problem whatsoever. BS+Competition. 2 points in their first round. They pull out ahead.
It's a strong start there for the start of their map from them. 58.3, the winning time on that round. See now if they can repeat the feat, if they can pull away a little bit more. 1 point lead, it's nothing here in the TMCL. And if Barboss doesn't make a mistake there, if he doesn't fall behind early in the map, I expect things to stay competitive here on back and forth.
Barboss right now out ahead on this one, but as we know, these first couple turns won't mean much as we move forward. So many different turns, so many different tricks here that you can gain a little bit of time on this. It's the first one of those. How clean is your exit as you get through here? Glass with a really tight line there and manages to make up that place. Onto Ratchet. Barboss now in second place, Ratchet in fourth. SCHWEINEAIM Racing need to bring out a little more speed here.
We will need to catch up a little bit. Ratchet the player behind at the moment. It's very deep onto the turnaround for Barboss, so he should be quite quick through these first turns, but holding onto the speed is a completely different matter than gaining it in the first place. A little bit too much speed did catch Barboss out there, caught on the inside. This is looking like an ace for BS+Competition.
No problem whatsoever. Ratchet a little, well, I mean, you make one kind of wide turn on that one, and all of your turns are going to be wide. You're going to be constantly scrambling to catch up to your own car on that one, your own handling on that. So very difficult once you've made that first turn error. And it looks like SCHWEINEAIM Racing go down a little bit. BS+Competition with an ace make a 4-point lead for themselves. But as you can see here, Barboss and Ratchet trying to bring that one back.
A great start here on round 3 for SCHWEINEAIM, as they are up in the mix with SCHW. That plastic turn does tend to separate out the field a little bit, and SCHW uses it to get ahead of both of the cars in red at the moment. Glass will bounce off a wall, might be salvageable, not quite, and Barboss will slide out as well. It's a 2-horse race up at the front at the moment. The question is, how does a pig do versus a zebra in a 2-horse race?
Well, we'll have to find out. I would say zebras are closer to horses, and it seems like that way it is heading so far. SCHW gets out ahead. Ratchet doesn't have enough speed, bumps off of that ramp, falls into the water. SCHW well out ahead at this point. Absolutely no chance he is coming anything but first in this one. Pepe laugh. Now he manages to get it done no matter what. Barboss comes out in second after only making a small error on the ice slide there. And it's going to be Glass, I think, to come in third. Yes.
Will do.
Oh,
Last
yeah,
in third
still
place.
Trying to get across that.
Ratchet will ultimately make it there, just to crash out one more time on the identity, getting those out of his system in what was a lost round anyway for SCHWEINEAIM Racing. And hey, if SCHWEINEAIM looked good on their map pick on map 1, BS+Competition fire it right back at them. 7-2's the scoreline now. Wow. Barboss with a crash early on as well, and ace for BS+Competition could finish this one off at 10-2.
That's a mistake you cannot afford to make, and now the onus is all on Ratchet to try and get all the way back and try and deny here BS+Competition at the very least the 3 points that they need to take away this map. And he's already fallen back by almost 2/10 at this point. Glass does not make a mistake this time in the ice turn, and Ratchet is still scrambling to make back that position. There's a lot to do.
There's an awful lot to do. Blast and Snow lead the way. I'm going to give you one quick zoology fact. A group of zebras is a dazzle of zebras. And there is a dazzle of zebras leading our race right now. Snow and Glast are leading. An ace would secure their map pick for them. Ratchet will have to watch on, barring any little errors at the finish line. Any finish issues, none to be found. Glast and Snow will cross the line. And 10-5 to SCHWEINEAIM on map 1. 10-2 to BS+Competition, firing right back at them on their map pick.
You know what? I thought, you know, when we started out here, I thought, oh, yeah, I'm thinking maybe actually a 7-mapper on this one. I didn't think, like, when I think of a 7-mapper, I think, oh man, it's going to be a really long series. So far, both of these maps have been very quick affairs. So maybe we'll get a quick 7-mapper. I don't know how that's possible, but so far, each team have been very secure on the maps that they have picked.
Yeah, 15 minutes to plow through our first 2 maps there. I'm going to say it, I think SCHWEINEAIM should be secure on this one. We do not see a lot of Aero pipes in the TMCL. And the fact that they picked it confidently third, guaranteeing that we were going to see it at some point, even if they were up, even if they were sweeping, that this was going to be one of their picks. I'm hoping they come in prepped. I'm hoping that we get another quick map here for SCHWEINEAIM Racing.
Yeah, this is one of those maps that not only does the Aero pipes, as we know, their identity right at the end, claim lives left, right, and center. The rest of the map is not easy either. We've seen a lot of mistakes, a lot of bumps, a lot of ice slide outs towards the start of the map as well. So you really need to be careful not just to focus on trying to get those jumps accurate, but everything else on this map as well, because you can lose time absolutely anywhere.
Absolutely can. This ice turn coming up after, well, a couple more turns in the future. We saw Link struggle with that a little bit last week. This one here, it's easy to lose the gear, easy to slide out. Everyone will make it through one. So far, Snow keeping up, and it's poor exits for Ratchet and to a degree Glass, but Snow and Barbos will race away into the distance a little bit. Glass, in fact, closing the distance onto the first pipe that we'll see a taste of what's to come.
Barbos with an incredibly tight turn maintains that lead. Snow and Glass trying to catch back up. Ratchet with a slightly wider turn loses a bit more time to Snow and Glass and falls back further into fourth. Barbos with Snow and Glass right on his tail now needs to keep it clean throughout the end, but as we know, anything can happen towards the end of this map. Exits that turn with a little more speed. Pause, there we go. Okay, Barbos is back, but Snow has more speed somehow. Oh, but he misses the jump. Falls straight into the crowd. Oh no, Ratchet, he goes over. Everything is going wrong for everybody. Everybody is respawned. Where are we? Glass, he's made it past the first one. Eventually, he's on the final pipe. He gets over. He's gone from fourth into first. Snow crosses across the line. It's an ace for BS+Competition. I don't know what's going on.
Yep. As expected, BS+Competition ace SCHWEINEAIM after SCHWEINEAIM pick Aero pipes. I honestly think SCHWEINEAIM...
close Aero pipe.
I think SCHWEINEAIM looked about as surprised as BS+Competition to be driving the Aero pipes identity there, and that's not ideal given that they are the ones that came in selecting it.
Yeah, hey, I told you anything can happen. That is definitely anything. Oh, there's Glass. We mentioned it earlier, that ice slide can take prisoners. There it is. Oh my god, Ratchet almost bumps onto the inside there, gets a little more speed for his risk. Barbos staying out ahead. There goes Snow. And suddenly, SCHWEINEAIM Racing are looking to take back this ace. But again, you never know what's going to happen. We saw every single player lose more than 2 seconds at the end egg just by respawning once. Some players losing up to 8 seconds. So it's all going to come down to the identity once again. But SCHWEINEAIM Racing have bought themselves just a little bit of time.
All right, Barbos and Ratchet. I mean, unfortunately, Aero pipe's not really an identity that you can safe as well as something like Slowdown. So the fact they have a bit of a gap behind them, not the most comforting thing in the world. But that's Barbos through. Slowdown on the first pipe. No. Ratchet will crash out on the second pipe.
Here comes
there
Snow.
Goes Snow.
Here comes
cleanly through the middle. He will drive through and take it. Ratchet is forced to double respawn all the way back. He misses again. Glass is going to be somewhere behind. I think that we're just going to see a round win, maybe with Snow in the lead. Glass bounces. Here comes Ratchet. He's going to finally make it across the line, and that's a draw.
Oh my god. It never ends. It really doesn't. Aero Pipes, you know what? Look, everybody can pretend that they dislike this map. It's amazing. I'm sorry, there is never a moment where I am not on the edge of my seat on Aero Pipes. It doesn't matter. I understand if the players dislike it. I love it.
It's just so much fun. It's so good when you get to this identity. I mean, it provides the opportunity. I will say, for as much fun as we're having here, I am genuinely surprised, given how clear SCHWEINEAIM's prep was on slowdown, that they picked Aero Pipes, and it just doesn't feel like they're that prepared for it.
Yeah, well, BS+Competition, I mean, hey, here we are on Aero Pipes, where they narrowly missed out on the victory to Exalty last week, and hey, they're back. This is definitely a redemption arc for them here on this map, and I mean, it does come at the behest of SCHWEINEAIM's mistakes, let's call it that, at the end. I don't know even if you can call them mistakes, because a lot of the time it's not really down to their driving.
That's true. Snow and Glass, they will make it cleanly across the first pipe right now. Ratchet will just about stay on with a wobble and will make it through, and that's 3 players cleanly across the pipes. The 4th one not so much. Barbos will crash out, but it means nothing at this point. BS+Competition on their opponent's pick moved to 7-1.
Not bad from BS+Competition. There we go. Suddenly we've got a clean round from a team there. BS+Competition, they get their way all the way through. No mistakes whatsoever. That's a well-deserved ace, and now we move to track point already. BS+Competition can close this one out. They got a 10-2 last map. Can they make it? A 10-1 this time around.
I mean, 3 aces would win it from here. No problem. Very easy.
Honestly, not going to rule it out.
No, I won't. It's Aero Pipes. It could happen.
Yep.
Snow and Glass being clean through the start, though. They're keeping up. They're keeping pace at the moment. Barbos will be a little bit faster through that turnaround. Everyone swerves a little bit on exit, but the order stays the same. Barbos leading from Snow just in front of Glass. Ratchet keeps his car out of the wall, and the reward is that he gets to overtake Glass.
Absolutely lovely. Barbos falls down into 2nd place. Snow with a little more speed as we enter the plastic turn. Move through. Snow carries on that lead. Barbos and Ratchet really breathing down his neck at this point, though. Glass trying to keep up as best as possible. Last time it really was Glass that did not make the identity over and over again in that match versus Exalty. Can he bring it back this time around and make sure his team can get through and maybe get an ace on this one? So far, Barbos is out ahead, but he makes a mistake on the first jump. He clips the edge. Ratchet goes over. Maybe it's happening right now. Snow and Glass power through to an ace to finish off Aero Pipes. It's a 10-1 scoreline.
BS+Competition. Hey, if they wanted to exercise their demons after losing on map 7 to Exalty on Aero Pipes last week, to go into it, their opponent's pick, and take it 10-1?
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah, can't take anything away from them on that one.
I think they definitely had a chip on their shoulder. They had something to prove after last week's match. And BS+Competition on their hunt to pick up their first win of the competition as well. Moving on from their opponent's map with a 2-1 lead. That's feeling pretty good for them. They are looking good on this one. Again, I do question though, SCHWEINEAIM, they looked so good on slowdown. They looked so prepared for that map, and we just did not see that same level of prep there on map 3.
Yeah, I think that is the risk you run by picking a map like that really can go either way, and we know that. We have established that over the course of several weeks at this point. Aero Pipes can go either way. It can tip the momentum either side now, and now SCHWEINEAIM, you know, they're staring down a barrel of a gun essentially. They have only won 3 rounds in the last 2 maps, and that's massive amounts of momentum for BS+Competition.
Actually heading into Parkour, the map that will make your life difficult if you let it.
Yeah, definitely. The identity on this one, less infuriating, still just as punishing, I would say.
Punishing is one word for it. We're hoping for a cone touch, because we always are as we get into these ones, but we're not convinced that it'll happen just yet, and we'll see these players looking to keep their car out of the cones. I always think those are lovely little castles near the start, but they are just cone. They're just cylinders with a cone on top. Yeah, exactly. They're tall cones.
They're cones that are trying to stay away from being touched. They're insanely lucky. If you somehow manage to get your car up to there, it's an instant series win at that. That's just how that works. So I want to see that at some point. Trying to, you know, Katzing very comfortable around the cone with its friends right at the start of the map. I don't know how you could do it. Maybe turn around in the middle of the map and go back for it, but I would love to see that from a team to try and get the maximum amount of luck possible as Barbos and Ratchet head forward into 1-2 position for them so far, but Snow trying to split that difference, makes a mistake there on the dirt turn, goes a little too outside. It's Barbos and Ratchet, they're running away with this one. They're heading towards this final jump here. Barbos and Ratchet managed to make that one happen. Can they get over the last one? It's clean from both of them. They coast through to the end. It looks like BS+Competition not having the same luck on this map as they did in their last two.
Are we entirely convinced that the pick and bans didn't reverse somehow for us here? That this isn't a SCHWEINEAIM pick? Because BS+Competition, they've fallen behind on this one, and SCHWEINEAIM, they looked prepped and ready for this one. They are cleanly through that one. An ace to start things off. That is 3 times as many points already on Parkour as they found on Aero pipes.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm checking right now just to see if we made an error here. Nope. Nope. It really isn't. Well, okay. BS+Competition's map pick. They don't seem as confident on it as SCHWEINEAIM Racing.
Yeah, SCHWEINEAIM, they looked very, very good indeed. Kick things off here on Parkour. Can they keep it going? Ratchet will find a checkpoint, and the answer immediately becomes no, not quite as clean on round 2, but Glast will just tap his back against that arch on the way through, and Barbos finds himself with an awful lot of clean air up front.
Doesn't look that way. Snow now trying to keep up with Barbos, but down by a whole second, almost a second and a half here. Snow has to do a lot of work just to stay here, just to put pressure on Barbos, because when you're that far behind in second place, there's almost no pressure on that leader. They can coast their way through. All he needs to do is stay clean through the jumps here, Barbos. And it looks like, so far, that is the story that is being told here. Barbos gets all the way through, no problem whatsoever. Snow keeps up, but it's not enough. Barbos takes first place. Snow following behind by 1.5 seconds, and Glass comes across the line to bring it to a draw.
It's a nice draw this time around. BS+Competition will keep up. Barbos, though, still holds on to first, and Ratchet, it was an early mistake that cost. And hey, sometimes that'll happen. Having to double respawn on the ice checkpoint, never going to feel particularly good. SCHWEINEAIM Racing, they hold on to their 3-point lead at the moment. BS+Competition, they need to do something to pull this one out of the bag, because at the moment they just seem to be lacking a little bit of the pace to keep up with SCHWEINEAIM, as well as the small mistakes that have been creeping in.
That way so far. Snow falls behind a little bit on that first dirt section. Glass doing well to stay ahead here of Ratchet and Barbos just about as we go into the first ice slide here. And Ratchet goes a little outside, doesn't bonk the wall I don't think, but does lose a little bit of time to that angle.
May have scraped some paint off on the side at the most. Glass does lead at the moment. Unfortunately, Snow has dropped a little ways back, but there is a chance to overtake. Because there's always a chance to overtake, because there is an identity to come here. And Barbos may just overtake without the benefit of a mistake from Glass as well. Could give SCHWEINEAIM a round win. Glass, though, with a cleaner jump, with more speed off the dirt. Ratchet trying to chase down Glass instead. Glass holding them off, jumping for his life right now. It's a little bit more speed from Ratchet, but at the cost of his line. Glass has had a touch. Glass will see Barbos cross the line in front. Does Ratchet have the pace to catch back up? Not at all. A couple of jumps back. Glass will cross the line in second place, and Ratchet will cross in third, as Snow will fall into the gap between jumps.
Oh dear. BS+Competition continue their run of form here on this map, on their map pick. Unfortunate now for them, as they're letting that... Well, I mean, they built up so much kind of momentum and kept SCHWEINEAIM from even getting points in the last 2 maps, and I feel like it's gone to waste a little bit.
It does a little bit. This would be BS+Competition losing on Parkour for the first time potentially as well. If SCHWEINEAIM can close out the match from here. They haven't quite managed to hit that magic 7-point mark, so we have a couple of rounds left at the very least. But SCHWEINEAIM are looking pretty good so far in BS+Competition. These small errors, man, they keep creeping in. That is another wall touch, and that is another player having to fight from behind, hoping for a mistake from SCHWEINEAIM to get back into the round.
Barbos staying ahead of Snow here. You can see the pressure that Ratchet is putting on Snow as well, just to try and make that, a second place, but Barbos touches and says, nah, not even going to bother, not going to make that jump. Snow takes first place, stays ahead of Ratchet, now just needs to make these jumps work. Snow has had some trouble here on this map so far. Can he break that curse? No, he cannot. He bonks on the last jump. Ratchet flies ahead, takes first place. Snow forced to respawn. Glass able to take that second place. Barbos, luckily for BS+Competition, has fallen back far enough that a draw is made, but SCHWEINEAIM Racing now on track point.
A little bit unfortunate though for BS+Competition in that they cannot afford draws at this point. You're down by 4. Even an ace would only bring them back within 1. And that draw moves SCHWEINEAIM Racing up to that magic 7 number. They are on a track point at this point. They're off to a great start as well. And at this point you have to worry that at least one of the players from BS+Competition likely to make another mistake between here and the identity. That has been the trend so far. They've been struggling to get cleanly through the pre-identity map in general, although at the moment Glass definitely keeping things a little bit cleaner.
So far we have seen one of the BS+Competition players at least contesting for the top 2. And towards the start of every round so far, Barbos out ahead once again, and Ratchet, oh no, Barbos has touched the top of that bobsleigh, falls back. Ratchet takes first place. Did Glass also make a mistake? No. Still behind Ratchet, however. Ratchet is just going to try and make this at the very least 1 point for his team. Stays out ahead by half a second at this point. Oh no, Glass, he knows he's going to crash. Ratchet clashes as well, has to respawn. Barbos is now out in front, manages to take first place, flies over the last jump. Snow trying to keep up, but it looks like it's going to be an ace for SCHWEINEAIM Racing to finish off Parkour. Where is Glass?
Sure, that's the end of that round. That's the end of this map. SCHWEINEAIM Racing will take an ace and they will move to 10-3. Did not draw Barbos winning that one. That's surprising given how the rest of the round was going, but the identity just proving its difficulty there once again. Parkour, I think one of those deceptively difficult ones. It's just a few jumps, right? It's just getting through them, but it's just a slight wobble on the first one leads into kind of catastrophic failure by the time you get to jump number 3 as things wobble further away from the center every time. And we will move to Agility Dash. And if you want to talk about identities where kind of a slightly scuffed entry can lead to significant problems down the line, Twiggy, let's keep that going with Agility Dash.
Yeah, absolutely. We could do a physics lesson in how one wobble can get bigger and bigger as you go over and make more and more kind of, well, you go into one turn with an angle from the other one, and then suddenly you have to turn even further, and on plastic that slows you down a massive amount. You bonk into the edge and you fall down into the abyss, as we saw Scrappy do a few times last time we were on this map. But that's over now. All we need to do is see somebody take their own map pick here.
That's all we need to see is one person take their own map pick. Surely you can do it on Agility Dash. Once again, SCHWEINEAIM, they looked so prepared for their first map selection. They kind of had the edge when it came down to that identity in both consistency and in speed on slowdown. Was very much not the case on Aero Pipes. Let's see if it becomes true again on Agility Dash. So far, through the beginning of the map, they are looking to have a little bit off that edge.
So far, no mistakes from anybody. Barbos and Ratchet holding hands as they move through to the mid-map section. Glass staying close behind them. Snow not too far behind either, only 1/10 back from what we're seeing right now. Glass has more speed out of the full speed section. It's going to head through that corner. Just try and split the difference between these two SCHWEINEAIM Racing players, but right now it's looking good from all.
Yeah, why split the difference when you can win, though? That's what Glass has got in their eyes at the moment. The issue is there are 2 cars keeping the pressure on, and these 2v1 situations, when every 10th matters as well, that's when it can really start to pile on the pressure. And it is Glass managing to pull away from Barbos a little bit, but the line from Barbos has actually dropped them all the way behind Snow. This is going to be such a tight finish. It's Snow with a little bit of a catch. It's Ratchet and Barbos overtaking Glass. SCHWEINEAIM, I asked if they had this practice. The answer looked like yes, right until it didn't, when Barbos crashed out, and it will be a draw for our first round on Agility Dash.
Well, thank you for demonstrating exactly what I was talking about there, Barbos. In just a little bit of deviation on one of the jumps can send you straight into a wall. It's just a tiny, tiny angle change can absolutely ruin your time on that identity. And there it is, 1-1 to start things off. And as much as I don't want to see another team lose their own map pick,
it is pretty funny.
I can't split these teams right now. It's amusing.
Yep, it is.
Probably not for the players.
Amusing. I will say, despite the fact Barbos crashed out there, SCHWEINEAIM looked ready for that identity in a way they didn't on Aero Pipes. in a similar way to what they did on Slowdown as well. They were starting to pull the edge away. It looked like they were going to finish a 10th head. Slight miscalculation from Barbos. You know, they're pushing the edge, they're pushing the limit. They are going to occasionally just push a little bit too far. They're going to push directly into a wall this time around, but I feel good things for SCHWEINEAIM on this identity with only a single round of data to back that up.
Wow, that is a bold claim to make on Agility Dash, but either way, we'll move forward and we'll see if your prediction is correct. Snow leads Ratchet, leads Glass, leads Barbos right now. Only 6/10 separate the whole field at the moment. Snow stays out ahead as we move into the first, well, I mean, challenging section, I would say, with these side jumps.
Yeah, and well, it is a little bit of an edge for BS+Competition as Glass will overtake Ratchet as well through those jumps. Ratchet a little bit shaky off that last jump, loses another 10th out of it as well. Snow and Glass lead, and this is where you need to put rubber to the road. This is where you need to prove you have it in the tank. And the answer is Ratchet did not have it locked and loaded. Barbos might have, though, on a late charge. Will try and overtake Glass, but Glass clutches up to hold him off by less than a 10th.
That was a bit close. But again, BS+Competition pull ahead. And again, it's not their map pick that they pull ahead on, and Snow and Glass manage to keep it all the way clean. You were absolutely as wrong as you could have been.
Yeah. Hey, you know, sometimes you call your shot, and sometimes that shot just misses entirely. It's just unfortunate when that shot has been called in favor of the team with AIM in their name. Maybe SCHWEINEAIM Racing will do it on this next round. I will say, Barbos again looked quick there through the identity, right? But that's a couple of times that we've seen Barbos looking very quick, but having to push too close to the edge to make that speed happen and making a small error, falling a little bit behind. The same being true for Ratchet as well. They're pushing what they can do on this identity to try and pull out a win, and unfortunately for them, it's not quite working out.
Yeah, I mean, there absolutely is a world where you full send it and barely even turn whatsoever. You just make sure that you're getting far enough forward and you just hold that accelerator button and make sure that you're going at full speed. But that is incredibly risky, and nobody does that, it doesn't seem. Everybody likes to at least give themselves a little bit of a slowdown just to gain a tiny bit of control right at the start of that identity. But yeah, no, you can see that everybody is trying to push for more and more and more speed as they start that identity, and it's leading to more and more errors.
Ratchet starts that turn from very, very deep inside. Everyone else went wide, and as a result, Ratchet dropped momentarily to the back. He's keeping up with Glass at the moment, though, and will make another overtake happen. All of these cars are within about a 10th of each other. Well, I say a 10th. They're within half a second of each other, and Glass will drop a little bit further back alongside Ratchet for this one. Once more, into the identity we go. Barbos is trying to chase down Snow up at the front. Ratchet is losing it to Glass a little bit, but better line through there. Car stays straighter. Will Ratchet be able to keep it going all the way to the finish line? Barbos and Snow, both of them looking to make it. Barbos nearly misses on the outside, but gets a wheel through the finish, and that is all you need. It is ultimately a draws. For once, Twiggy, everyone is clean through that identity.
Yeah, Barbos actually had a wheel clip towards the end there. I'm surprised that did not turn into a bigger problem. He manages to get through, no problem whatsoever, although it's not good for the team. A draw is not what they want now. They are 3 points behind BS+Competition. Every time you draw in this position, you lose out more and more, and your chances dwindle for being able to win this map. Oh, no.
Harder. That's also going to make things a little bit harder. Barbos all the way at the back with a tough respawn as well. Snow and Glass versus Ratchet. A lot of pressure on Ratchet right now. The plastic wiggle has come through from Snow. Look at all the extra speed he gains. Unfortunately, doesn't necessarily help him set up all that much better for the following turn there. Ratchet still holding on in first place and will do so into the full speed section in the middle of the map. Ratchet desperately needs to turn this one into at least a draw if there are no errors on the identity. But at the same time, as you were just saying, Twiggy, a draw is really not good enough anymore for SCHWEINEAIM in this round.
May, however, be the best they can do on this one. Barbos now 3.6 seconds trailing. Ratchet stays ahead of Glass and Snow, has more speed through that turn, is able to take more speed through into the side jump, stays ahead of Glass. Glass still chasing, 2/10 behind. Snow 2/10 behind his teammate. Ratchet gets first into this one. He seems to take a more inside line on that jump, losing him speed, gaining him control. Glass struggling to keep up. Ratchet keeps it clean. He gets through. He's almost to the end. He makes it all the way through and forces that draw. Once again, it's not perfect, but it's the best that could have been hoped for in those circumstances. Barbos brings up the rear. His teammate's already done all the work.
That's a pretty safe round from Glast and Snow. They didn't really push it. You said it. Glast was taking safer lines through that final identity as well, because they're 3 points clear. A draw is totally fine for them in this position. They don't need to push too hard to try and pick up the win there. Just edging one more point closer to victory here on this map. Edging ever closer to going into their map 6 pick with an edge over their opponents as well. But given that everyone seems to be losing on their own picks so far tonight as well, maybe not the edge that they'll be hoping for.
Man, you said edge 4 times in that.
Far too many. I lost the run of myself.
Yeah. Barbos and Ratchet currently lead by only just about a 10th over their opposition. And they really, really, really need this one here. An ace obviously would put them back level with BS+Competition, but so far it's been difficult for them to get this one ahead. Doing it well so far. On this, they really have not really led a 1-2 position over their opposition. And it doesn't look like it's going... Oh, yes it does. It does look like that's going to be the story. This time around, they need to keep it clean through the identity.
Do need to keep it clean through the identity. It's not been as easy for SCHWEINEAIM as it's looked for BS+Competition. One of the maybe disadvantages of practicing constantly with pushing on an identity is that maybe you don't have those safe strats in the bank, but a clip from Snow will send him further back right as he looked to be catching up. Barbos gets a big slowdown on the grass as well, and all of a sudden Glast finds himself leading the pack through these plastic jumps. Ratchet is high on that transition, will stay a little bit slower, might even get overtaken by Snow, you know, on the line. It is going to be tight, and Ratchet holds him off by 7 thousandths.
Man. BS+Competition really want to get this map over and done with, this series over and done with. It's getting late. BS+Competition want to put it to bed and then get themselves to bed probably right afterwards. Ratchet and Barbos are going to have to claw back even more points in this one. They cannot even let BS+Competition get a 1-3 anymore.
It really feels like 2 aces in a row would be all SCHWEINEAIM can do to get back into this one. I'm not convinced that they'll close it out if they start giving over single points from this position. It starts with an ace in this round.
It starts with one thing. I don't know. Barbos and Ratchet still out ahead on this one, but how many times have we seen that in this series, in this map? SCHWEINEAIM Racing start off in a 1-2 position and something goes wrong somewhere.
Something does seem to go wrong awful lot for SCHWEINEAIM Racing. They'll need to keep it clean this time around. As I said, an ace, it feels necessary to me for them right now. They are at least putting themselves in the best possible position to get it as we head into the agility dash identity one more time.
Well, Ratchet and Barbos holding hands, sitting very comfortably around the campfire with its friends. We're going to once again have to head forward into this one. Barbos almost loses an amount of time off. And Ratchet and Barbos do come out ahead, but Glass has more speed off of the back of that jump, stays on Ratchet's tail. Ratchet just trying to stay in that first lead, but Glass with more speed, risking it further. Ratchet has lost so much speed throughout this whole thing. Barbos, he gets ahead. Ratchet has to respawn. Glass takes first. Can Snow come forward and take this one? He's so far behind, but Ratchet, he doesn't make a mistake that time. He manages to force the draw, keeps his team alive for one more round.
Draws are not good enough though for SCHWEINEAIM Racing, and now they're most definitely not. They cannot afford another one. They need 2 aces in a row, or an ace, and I suppose then I'd allow them to win the round and take us to a 10-10 tie. Not seen an overtime in a little while on any of these maps.
No, we really have. Actually, yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen an overtime whatsoever. Barbos and Ratchet once again quicker off of the mark. Glass and Snow stay close. That's all that matters because they seem way more consistent. Oh dear, that's a massive mistake from Ratchet, not able to make his way across that one. I think Snow has fallen behind as well, but not quite as much. Yeah, he's 2 seconds behind, but that's nothing. That doesn't hold a candle to Ratchet's loss of a lead here, and Barbos stays ahead of Glass here, but it might all be over as long as Glass and Snow cannot come last.
Yeah, I feel at this point that Glass can stay ahead of Ratchet, and if Glass stays ahead of Ratchet, that's going to be GG's on this one. Snow could well do it as well. A draw is all they need. A win would be good enough. Doesn't matter. BS+Competition, a single point. The only question is in what fashion do they get it in? That's a little bit slow from Glass, but look, he can afford a couple like that. He's built the lead up, not made the errors so far. There's another one. He can afford a couple, can't afford many more.
Yeah, no, Glass and Snow now drop back a little further. Barbos, I mean, he needs to get this first place to keep his team in with a chance of getting this one done, but Ratchet needs to do the hard work, and he's still 6 seconds behind these last players. Snow, he falls over. Oh, but he might just be able to save his way through, and Glass, he finds his way to the end. Ratchet, as much as he tried, he could not catch up to these final players. BS+Competition, they get their draw, they get their 10-6, and they get towards series point.
BS+Competition, they've been picking up an ace early on, it feels like, and then there's just draws throughout the middle of the match. Yeah. It edges them up all the way close to that 10-point mark, and from there they just kind of close it out, right? It's BS+Competition doing what they need to do, safing when they need to safe, getting the results they need to get. It's put them now on match point as we head into map 6 for them as well. This is back to a BS+Competition pick. SCHWEINEAIM Racing, I had such high hope for them coming into this match with how good they looked on slowdown. It'll get messy here on Slippy Slides. It always does. Maybe it's starting to turn into a bit of a messier match again will favor them. It needs to at this point.
Yeah, this is where you really want to close it out. You just don't want to go to that final map. Freestyle, it's not the most terrible map to end out a series on, but at the same time, you really just don't want to get to that point. Obviously, you want to close this out right now. BS+Competition, although they really haven't found a decisive lead at this point yet, they can do it here and now. Snow and Glass, all they need to do, keep it clean throughout this one. So far, that has been the name of the game. It's just keeping it consistent gets you these rounds right now, because both of these teams have made tiny errors. One player falling behind is all it takes.
There is that one player falling behind. It's Ratchet. He's a long way down the field now. It does kind of show exactly what you were talking about there, Twiggy. Very nice of him to provide the graphic demonstration of it. And Snow, I mean, hey, Snow has not really looked like he's felt the pressure when he is up in the mix with 2 players against him. Neither is Glass. But Barbos, I don't know. We'll see if he can hold off 2 players from his opposition team.
Only has a healthy lead right now. 3/10 between him and the 2 BS+Competition players. Can he maintain that lead as we head forward towards the identity, getting closer and closer here? Snow and Glass managed to catch up just a little bit with that first turn, but Barbos does have a little better speed. It is down to a 1/10 lead at this point, and Barbos, as we head forward, where did Glass go? Snow keeping up with Barbos now. He gets an inside line on this one, and Barbos falls back a little further, but Snow, he spins out. Barbos is going to take first place, no problem. And Snow, oh no, Ratchet may actually just come forward on this one. Wait, Glass, I think, is in second. Yes. Okay, all good. Second. No problem whatsoever. But SCHWEINEAIM Racing do take the round. 2-1 for them.
They'll pick up a round win. It's not clean, right? But like we said, maybe getting down and into the mud is where the pigs will need to get to actually pick up a match win at this point, because after they showed a very clean display on map 1, it's not been clean ever since. And hey, if you can drag your opponents down into the mud with you and beat them with experience, that might be exactly what SCHWEINEAIM need.
Yeah, right now, not pulling ahead in the same way that BS+Competition have when they get their map wins, but inch or a mile, 1 point is all it takes to make that lead work for them. Now they're going to try and capitalize off of that. Snow trying to keep up with them at this point. Glass down by about 3/10 from the leader. Ratchet stays in first place. Barbos right behind.
Is right behind. How long will that last is the question. That is 2 cars wheel to wheel, as close as you can get. Barbos and Snow are staying so close together. There's 300ths of a second separating them, but Barbos might get an edge out. No, it's a better line on the exit from Snow that time around. Ratchet and Barbos putting the pressure on, though. Into the identity we will go. No one to crash out this time around, at least not in our top 3. Snow looking to not take too far of an inside line this time around, not looking to crash out. There goes Glass, looking for an overtake onto Barbos as well. Is quicker out. Glass will even manage to snipe Ratchet. I don't think so. Will not manage to do so, but BS+Competition immediately level things up in round 2 with a round win of their own.
Well fired back from BS+Competition, kept it clean throughout there, and yeah, you could just see small problems turning into big problems for Barbos at the end. There gets overtaken, and Glass is able to take at least one more point for his team. Level things up, 3-3.
And it is a very fast time up at the top as well. 1:11.4. That is going to win you a round. And that would probably win you a TMGL round at this point as well. That is quick at the top. But can it be repeated? Can Snow do it again? I mean, this start implies no to me. Already shaving, dropping a few tenths behind the leader on this one. And it's okay. That is going to be a little bit slow for Barboss, who is now sitting a little bit further back from the other players, but is straight back into it with a little bit more speed, not losing contact with the ground on the dirt.
Not whatsoever. Ratchet, however, gets well out in front, already making a 4/10 lead happen as Glass tries his best to keep up, splitting Barboss and Ratchet in half here. Again, things stay relatively close. Snow drops back a little further, but not too far to reach them towards the end of the map.
And Ratchet hold off Glass, climb Glass, do what it takes to catch back up. That landing on the reactor has made things a little bit harder for Glass, but will be coming out with a decent amount of speed. Shed on that uphill section as well. Ratchet is just in front of Barboss, is leading from Glass. Through this identity we go one more time. Snow slipping through on the background there. Glass going a bit inside. Exit on this turn, not compromised, and that will be a very tight inside. And you saw Ratchet slide out, and there comes Snow as well. And BS+Competition, they will not steal away the win, but they will turn it into a draw.
And 2, just 1. That's all it takes, is one tiny error on that last turn, and suddenly you're 11 seconds behind the pack there. SCHWEINEAIM Racing don't take away an ace on that round, although I get the feeling Glass would have split them in that last turn. He had a very nice line on that one, but either way, SCHWEINEAIM Racing do not pull ahead.
That is going to be glassed with a little bit of an early error, though. Is going to now be dropping away from the other 3 drivers. Neither team pulling ahead at the moment. 4-4 is the score. An ace would set you up very nicely for the rest of the match at this point. And Ratchet is pulling away from the BS+Competition drivers at the moment. Barboss with a big error, though, has dropped all the way to the back. And we're on track for another draw. This match could stay tense for a little while longer.
Wow, who would have seen it coming? This series has been close all the way throughout. Well, I mean, it hasn't been close in terms of maps, but it's been close in terms of the way everybody has been fighting back for those maps. At the very least, Ratchet leads Snow at this point. It's getting close between these two. Once again, Snow with a little less speed. Ratchet pulls further away, but we all know that it really doesn't matter as we move forward to the bug slides. Ratchet gets onto that first one, stays ahead of Snow for the time being. Snow trying to catch up with some inside lines on this. Very tight through that one, a lot of speed. Ratchet goes outside and has to respawn, and Snow, he takes first place. Ratchet, he respawns, he gets behind Barboss, but it's an ace for BS+Competition again off the back of a slide out there. Or it wasn't even a slide out, it was just going too far on the inside for SCHWEINEAIM Racing.
An ace is going to set you up very nicely for the rest of this map. That's what I said at the top of the round of BS+Competition. They will find out just how nicely they are set up. They lock in that ace for themselves. Snow with a 1:12. It's a strong time again to finish things off at the end of the round there. Not as strong as he's set already in this match. But BS+Competition are proving that consistency on this identity might just carry them to victory. Is the way you want to go in the Challenger League.
Could be over in this round. BS+Competition, they need an ace. They can do it. They've got a nice healthy lead over SCHWEINEAIM Racing at this point. It's their map point. It's their map point. It's their series point as well. Ratchet trying to stop them from getting that done. Barboss as well in second place, but it's all very close as we move forward into the second half of the map.
Second half of the map, indeed. Ratchet and Barboss are at least staying competitive here so far. No mistakes from any players, but there's room to be made yet as we will head into our reactor jump here, heading onto this first bug slide of the map, and that is clean from both of the drivers of SCHWEINEAIM. It was less clean from the drivers of BS+Competition, apart from the fact that they come out with more speed at the end, and so it was clean enough to carry them through into this identity. Is there a chance Ratchet slides out here? Is there a chance that this is BS+Competition closing it out? It's going to be tough, but Snow and Glass, they're alive. Glass may have slid off the track on the inside there. Ratchet is going to hold off Snow. Ooh. Glass comes sliding in front of Barboss's nose to turn that one into a draw.
Glass has some beautiful lines on the identity there. We've seen some insane snipes there from Glass so far already. There's one more for the books. The BS+Competition edge their way a little closer to that map point, that 10 scoreline that they need. All they need now is a 1-3. Ace would do it as well. SCHWEINEAIM Racing do not want to let that happen. And Ratchet and Barboss are fighting tooth and nail now.
We said it, that, you know, BS Plus Competition, they've been pulling out the aces they need. Barbos did crash out there completely in the background. I am aware of it. But the BS Plus Competition, they've been pulling out the aces they need, and then they've just been doing the driving they need to do in order to close it out. That time around, it did take a pretty wild snipe from Glast in order to turn that round into a draw. But right now, they're sitting here. They can hold on to this draw. They don't need to overly push to try and catch Ratchet. It's up to Ratchet to stay in front. A draw is good enough for BS Plus Competition right now.
They won't mind that whatsoever. It does not give SCHWEINEAIM Racing a chance to win in the next round. Obviously, you don't want to let that lead slip away from you. So it would be nice to put some pressure on Ratchet here and try and make an error in this final part of the map. But Ratchet so far leads from Glass, leads from Snow. Glass, can he pull out some heroics again and take an amazing line to overtake Ratchet? It looks like there's too much of a gap for now, and Ratchet keeps it clean as it goes. Takes first place. It's another draw. BS Plus Competition. They get one closer, but again, SCHWEINEAIM Racing, Ratchet really trying to fight them off.
They get one closer. They are now one away, and crucially as well, SCHWEINEAIM Racing are still outside that 7-point range. They're still outside 3 points away from a win. Even an ace only brings SCHWEINEAIM back up to the top. And to me, do you know what that means, Twiggy? It means BS Plus Competition can just safe enough. They need to keep the pressure on, try and force a mistake out of one of the players from SCHWEINEAIM, but one mistake is plenty if both players of BS Plus Competition can keep it clean to the finish line here.
So far, my eyes are going to be on Barbos. This time around, it has been Ratchet bailing him out so far on this map. Can Barbos bring it back and make sure that his team can get another chance going through into this one? And Ace ties things up. That's all they need on this one. Snow manages to keep Barbos away from that 1-2 position, but Ratchet stays ahead so far. Will Barbos keep it clean throughout this one? Glass falls back by 5/10, but that's not enough to keep away BS Plus Competition's chances as Ratchet goes a little slower into the dirt time, giving away the lead once again to Snow now, and that's all they need here.
No mistakes yet though, and that could be crucial. It will just come down to pure pace through the identity to making sure that nobody makes a mistake through it either. An ace is what SCHWEINEAIM need, and it comes down to Barbos trying to catch Snow and Glass. It's Ratchet who drops a little bit back. Snow surely has it locked in. Ratchet gaining back now. Snow and Glass, they're looking for the ace of their own. Barbos tries to snipe, will not do so. Snow and Glass in first and third. Close it out on Slippy Slides. They close out the match. We have no winless teams remaining in the Trackmania Challenger League.
Could not have asked for a better final round there. Everybody finishing within, well, 2.5 tenths of each other right at the end. Beautiful play from, and a beautiful match actually from both teams. But yeah, BS Plus Competition, they just brought home what they needed to do. It was just a little cleaner towards the end. I mean, look, it was great maps came out from both teams, and SCHWEINEAIM Racing had some brilliant ones of their own. I mean, they won the first map 10-5. They won the third map, what was it, 10-1? That one? I can't even remember how close, no, it was Aero Pipes, it was. It really was that one-sided, but in the end, BS Plus Competition just had a little more consistency throughout their whole map pool.
Yeah, and that will draw week 3 of the Trackmania Challenger League to a close. Half of our teams sit on 2 wins and 1 loss. The other half sit on 1 loss and 2 wins. Alternate Attacks currently sit at the top of the table with the biggest map differential. Feeling pretty good about that one. BS Plus Competition, they finally pick up a win. I mean, it felt like it was going to happen eventually, Twiggy, but they didn't have to wait long.
Yeah, definitely. Not whatsoever. I mean, today was a brilliant day. We saw our first 4-0. We had a lot of very close ones. But overall, I think we got everything done. Look, even though we had a big break there at the end, I think we got things done in a very reasonable time. And now it's time for NCSA Regionals.
It is. We are just nearly at the halfway mark for the race to playoffs for the Trackmania Challenger League. That race will continue next week, next Saturday. Make sure you check back in for that one. For the moment, we're going to get out of the way so that you can see more Trackmania action. The NCSA Regionals are on right now. We're going to hope to jump into them soon. See you shortly. Not us. Someone will. Bye.